Hello? Well, I'm back, and as we've been doing for the last several months, it is time once again to look at this month's horror packs. This is a bit later than I planned on making this video, because while one of these packs arrived quickly, the other one fell victim to the wave of postal delays that we've been experiencing. Alas, but they have now both arrived, and I'm ready to see what is in both the DVD and Blu-ray horror packs for January of 2021. And so, without further ado, let's open these up and see what's inside. There's pack number 1. And there is pack number 2. Now, as is my way, I have not peeked into either of these packs, so I don't know what the movies are. I'm going to discover at the same time as you what is in each of these packs. We'll go through both the DVD and the Blu-ray packs. I will comment as much as I'm able to, because I haven't researched this in advance. And we'll see what sort of treasures the fine folks over at HorrorPack have given us for January. Alright, let's start with this one. Looks like the DVD pack, and first up is Anna. This appears to be a Annabelle knockoff. The back says, 2 men steal a doll from a paranormal museum in order to put their footage online, but end up in a crazy game as the doll becomes a gateway to hell. This is very much an Annabelle knockoff. Whatever you may think of the Warrens, and I've talked about them before in relation to the Conjuring and Annabelle movies, they did keep the Annabelle doll in their paranormal museum. So this is clearly modeled on that. Let's see, this came out in 2017, so it's a fairly recent film. I do like this kind of story because it's clearly a knockoff, even in name. I'm uncertain whether it will be good or not, but it's at least worth a try, right? And incidentally, if you're watching this when it's originally posted in January of 2021, go back a couple videos on my channel. I'm giving away a DVD copy of Annabelle, so if you're interested in that movie, in addition to or instead of this one, I'm giving it away for interested people. Just go over to that video and leave a comment. The rules are all on the other video. Let's see what's next. Number 2 is Prey. The back says, this horror thriller from Image Nation, Hyde Park, and Blumhouse Productions, etc., etc., etc. Millennial coldly floating through life and disconnected from his family. After his father is tragically killed in a carjacking, Toby is left stricken with guilt. He is begrudgingly enrolled in a lost and found program in which he will spend 3 days and 3 nights on a remote jungle island. Toby soon finds that this uninhabited island is not so lonely when he meets a mysterious girl named Madeline. It soon becomes clear that neither of them are safe here and time is running out. Someone or something bloodthirsty lurks in the jungle, and Toby must find a way off this island before becoming its prey. Interesting. I've always liked a jungle setting. I've always liked a trapped on an island kind of a film. And Blumhouse frequently, although not always, does some good work, so this one has a lot of promise. And next up, number 3 is Hellacious Acres, the Case of John Glass. The description on the back says, a man suffering from amnesia wakes up in a desolate barn from a cryogenic freezer to be informed that the planet has been devastated by a world war and reduced to little habitability by a subsequent alien invasion. He is thrown into a military mission to help re-establish a livable atmosphere for what's left of humanity. Soon enough, he encounters more than he bargained for: aliens, crazy survivors, inadequate equipment, and a pretty unhealthy dose of bad luck. Jam-packed with visual inventions and plot twists, this movie offers a dark and humorous take on the post-apocalyptic genre. Interesting. I know nothing about it, but it's sci-fi horror is right up my alley. Even though this is mostly a horror channel, I do also like sci-fi. Alien is one of my favorite movies. Star Trek, back in the day, was one of my favorite TV shows. So sci-fi horror is perfect for me. And I notice on the back there's a lot of laurels showing that this film has won some awards or been official selections for a variety of film festivals, so promising, although I know nothing about it. Next up, and last of the DVDs, is The evil in us. Go viral, it says. Nice bloody picture on the back. The description on the back says, Cabin fever meets Evil Dead in this stylish and blood-soaked sci-fi horror. It's the 4th of July on a remote island and 6 best friends are looking to party. What they don't know is that they're about to become playthings of a sadistic, top-secret organization when they are slowly transformed into bloodthirsty cannibals and pitted against each other. Only one in the group is unaffected, and she must fight for her life against these monsters in this deeply unsettling chiller that you'll want to sink your teeth into. Interesting. A quote on the back from the Hollywood News calls this a zombie outbreak movie for the Walking Dead generation. That doesn't really tell me very much, but I like zombies, I like sci-fi. It sounds intriguing to say the least, so I have a lot of hope for this one, and indeed for all 4 of these DVD selections. So let's have a look at the Blu-ray pack and see what's inside of it. And the first one is The Dead Room. The tagline on the front says, "There is an intruder, it is you." That's interesting. Let's see what this film is about according to the description. It says, step inside the dead room, where something sinister guards a home's horrifying secrets. Inspired by a 1970s urban legend, this atmospheric nerve shredder follows 2 scientists and a young psychic. Interesting combination, scientists and psychics. We'll put that aside. As they travel to the countryside to investigate mysterious goings-on at a remote farmhouse. Skepticism quickly turns to terror as the researchers' presence unsettles a seriously angry demonic presence possessing the home. Upping the haunted house movie ante with visceral camera work and unsettling sound design, The Dead Room creates a sense of palpable danger lurking in every corner and hallway. Seems like a fairly typical haunted/possessed house story, at least by its description, although it looks intriguing enough, and I've always liked that subgenre, so once again, a promising selection, even though I don't particularly know the film. A quick Google search reveals that this is a New Zealand film, and they've produced a few good horror films lately, so that bodes well. It looks like it received mixed reviews, but I still think it looks promising enough at least to give it a good try. And next up in the Blu-ray pack is Unsane. It says certified fresh from Rotten Tomatoes, which gives me some reason to think that it might be good, although Lord knows I've disagreed with the Rotten Tomatoes people plenty of times before. I do remember hearing about this film when it came out, I think 2-3 years ago, something like that. I never actually saw it, so I'm interested to finally actually sit down and watch it. The description on the back says, Academy Award-winning director Steven Soderbergh plunges audiences into the suspense and drama of a resilient woman's fight to reclaim her freedom, even as she risks her own sanity. Still scarred from the trauma of being terrorized by a stalker, Sawyer Valenti receives treatments at the Highland Creek Behavioral Center. However, shortly after she unwittingly commits herself to the mental institution and is unable to leave, she catches sight of a facility staffer who, she is convinced, is actually her stalker. But is he real or a product of her delusion? I've always loved a film that plays with sanity. It's an interesting plot, and the loss of the mind, to me, is among the most terrifying things that the horror genre can offer, so I am very much looking forward to trying Unsane. And the third of the Blu-ray selections is The Domestics. This is starring Kate Bosworth. This is another one that I have heard of but have not seen. I do seem to recall it receiving generally favorable reviews. According to the description on the back, it says, in a terrifying post-apocalyptic world inhabited by murderous gangs divided into deadly factions, Nina and Mark race desperately across the lawless countryside in search of safety. As one depraved group narrows their search for the couple, they must work together as they are pushed to the breaking point in order to survive. I've always liked a good post-apocalyptic story. Sounds intriguing. I seem to recall it getting good reviews, so looking forward to trying The Domestics. And finally, the fourth and last of the Blu-rays is Crazy Too Crazy. This is the HorrorPack Limited Edition. This is exclusive number 55, according to the spine. This is another film that I'm not familiar with, and actually there's no description on the back, so I don't really know anything about it. I'm going to try to do a quick Google and see what I can find. Okay, a quick, very brief description from IMDb says, "What happens when a psychopath meets an all-American family of psychopaths?" So that gives me some idea of the plot or premise of this film. I also just took the liberty of pausing for a moment to watch a trailer for this movie, and from the looks of it, it looks like a ultra-low budget movie about psychopaths. The trailer didn't tell me a whole lot about the plot, so I'm still going in somewhat blind, but sometimes those low-budget films end up being the best ones, so I approach with an open mind and hope for the best. And that does it. Another nice collection of both DVDs and Blu-rays from the fine folks at HorrorPack. I'm looking forward to trying these out, so I am going to take my leave to go watch some movies. So until next time, take care and stay scared. He is begrudgingly Hello, who's that? Interrupting my work. Oh, that's the person I was trying to convince it would be a fun idea to attend one of Hannibal Lecter's dinner parties. So let me just respond to that real quick. And sit. Okay, where was I?